What's up, everybody? Corey Van Castle Cook here of the Movie Chumps, and special guest
Corey K. of That's Unstable Go On.
And we just got out of Marty Supreme, the new movie by Josh Safdie, one half of the Safdie brothers, starring Timothy Chalamet. I'm going to kick it over to Corey. What'd you think?
There's a lot in that movie in such a long period of time. Good God, I'm still taking it all in.
Yeah, same here. This movie's amazing. Like, I love this movie. From the first frame, I love this movie. Timothy Chalamet's performance is, Corey, he's one of the best going right now. He's in that top 5 in the world.
Absolutely, and I think this really showcases that, like, the range this man has. Name someone else in Hollywood right now who has that range and is actually using it.
And what's interesting, I think, too, is the fact that, like, he's kind of a dick. His character is like a scumbag sociopath, but for some reason, you kind of root for him.
I think the reason that you root for him and what makes the Marty Supreme story so fascinating is because he is so determined in his goal at the end of the day. He is so determined to be the best in the world. He doesn't care what he has to do, how he has to do it. This is his goal, and he's gonna fucking get there.
It's funny because this definitely is a commentary too, I think, on America, and that maybe cynical take that America's a hustle, like they say in The Penguin, and it's kind of a con job. But I kind of get where it was coming from with that too.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think it showcased a lot of, especially a lot of the time when they're attending in New York City, you're not just seeing, like, especially for, like, the time era it was. This was, like, set in the 50s,
yeah,
I
52.
believe. Yeah, so 52. So generally when you get timepieces like this, it's set like, okay, you only get to see, like, how this type of person lives. We got to see a whole range, low class, even lower class than that. Like, we saw white people, black people, Hispanic people. We got fucking mobsters in this. We got to see how everybody lived and how everybody lived their life and what their struggle and what their hustle was. It's a great commentary on that in America, the way it just painted that picture. Oh my God.
It's definitely a New York City film. Like, this is one of the better New York City films I can think of in a long time. But I gotta say too, the writing in this is top notch. You can tell that this is one of the directors of Uncut Gems because it is like pitter patter. It doesn't stop.
It does not. No. And I was checking my watch during the heart rate because when I watched Uncut Gems, there were points in that film where if I stood up, I would have been doing cardio. That's how hard I was going. In this film, not quite there, but there were some parts I had looked at. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I am just sitting down and I am flying right now.
One of those for sure was the third act, which the ending of this movie is freaking, it's phenomenal. And the ping pong match that happens, and the ping pong matches in general, I think, were pretty well shot and just tense.
Really intense, really fun, really just sucked you in. Like, I never would have expected to be so focused on a ping pong match. And yet here I am, wanting to go back and watch it again.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. I think I'm going to get a lot of rewatchability out of this sucker. The other thing that I appreciated, and it's kind of strange, but I think it works, is, as Corey said, this movie's set in 1952, but it's a complete 80s soundtrack, and I kind of love that.
And I think, like, especially when you look at what the 80s was like capitalism. You know, the Wall Street was huge. America was making a butt ton of money and everything like that. So I think that, especially like that hustle culture that really honestly kind of started in the 80s, it really made sense to use a soundtrack from the 80s to kind of like further push that narrative. And I think that, like, the Safdie brothers are both so good, but it's nice to know that that carries on regardless whether or not they're working together.
And I gotta say, supporting cast is really good. The guy, Mr. Wonderful, I can't think of his real name, is actually pretty good in this. Gwyneth Paltrow really amazed me, and Odessa Enzian, who kind of plays Marty's on-again, off-again girlfriend in this situation. I never really seen her or anything, but she was awesome. The supporting cast really strong.
Yeah, no, the guy from Shark Tank, honestly, like, I don't know how great his acting ability is. It kind of felt like he was just playing himself and really drawing from that experience, but at the same time, he kind of nailed it through and through. So, I mean, I guess you could also say that's going to speak to Safdie's, like, ability to be a director and still be able to bring out that kind of that just bring it out in the right kind of people. And yeah, no, supporting like Gwyneth Paltrow really surprised. I'm not a very big Gwyneth Paltrow fan, and it's not just because I'll never forgive Shakespeare in Love winning the Oscar, but it really like this is probably the best performance I've ever seen her do.
Yeah, she's an amazing actress when she puts her mind into it. I gotta say too, we're not gonna say what they are, but Corey and I, you both have to agree, there was a couple lines in this movie that our jaws were kind of on the floor, and we made kind of similar sounds like, wow, that was totally inappropriate.
Can absolutely confirm, as somebody who had unrestricted access to the internet from like the age of 13 onward, some of these lines made me blush.
So my only, and I'll get Corey's take in just a second, my only, I think I would say negative in this is the fact that the sound mixing is a little too strong sometimes. It overwhelms a couple of the dialogue situations, but it wasn't enough to like detract me from how much I overall love this movie.
No, for sure, I agree with that. I think that especially during the ping pong scenes, when they start adding music in, I think what I would have liked to have seen more of was more focus on the actual sound of the ball getting hit, and maybe a little bit of sound from the players as well, but they kind of mixed in, music to build the tension. So and I get that at the end of the day, but I feel that it would have brought more of the focus, even though you're already focused, it would have brought more of a focus in on it. I think it would have just made things a little bit better. But I mean, also there's sometimes like, again, mostly the soundtrack when it's mixed in, it's pretty loud. The soundtrack's probably it's a good soundtrack. Everything works
very good
for
soundtrack.
It, but it's too loud at times.
Okay.
I agree.
Okay. So and I know just out of the theater some things got to percolate, but if you had to rate this thing out of 10, what would you give it?
I think if I had to rate this out of 10, I'm going to have to give this a very solid 8 out of 10. I think it's a great film. I think it's got a lot of potential come award time, and just the way it's a very structurally sound film through and through. I don't think it's a perfect film. I don't think it's an absolutely amazing film, but I think it's a great film and it's worth the watch. So 8 out of 10 for me.
Okay. So for me, it's going to be a 10 out of 10, but keep in mind, my idea of 10 out of 10 is that it's a must-see. It doesn't mean that it's a masterpiece. There's really only been one movie I've seen this year that I think is a masterpiece, and that's One Battle After the Other. But if you're talking about, is this an absolute must-see? For me, yes, it is. So to me, that rates it a 10 out of 10. But anyway, I am Corey Van Castle, cook of the Movie Chumps.
I'm Corey K. If That Sounds Terrible, Go On.
We love y'all. We'll see y'all next time. Peace.